And then I think that we could just go ahead and get started if you want to just take it, and I'll let you kind of run it, Melody. And if you have questions of where to go next, you can ask me.
Okay, sure. Um, I had a pipe break in my house yesterday, and so if I have to run and let a plumber or contractor, please forgive me, but I kind of have a little bit of an emergency thing going on at my house. Anyway, so I bought my first fizz, let's see, almost 4 years ago. It had been open for 5 years. So it was the fall of 2020. So kind of during that COVID time. The owners of it had their sales had really increased with COVID because of the drive-through. But where we live, the kid like the for sports, high school sports and stuff, you have to travel pretty far, and so they had three kids in high school, um, and so they just couldn't manage doing FiiZ and keeping up with their kids. So we ended up buying it. Um, we bought it because we were addicts. My husband and I, we probably went probably like 3 times a week to get a soda. Um, and our youngest had graduated from high school and had moved away. And so we kind of wanted to continue to be a part of the community and invest in something besides medicine. My husband is a physician, and we kind of wanted to um, put money into something that we could see would continue to grow, like with the economy, rather than just savings or stuff like that. So that's kind of how we started. Um, I my sales increased, so I put into play some of the features that corporate had available that the prior owner wasn't using, which was the app. So people can place an order on the app, and then they can pull up and either go through the drive-through and get their order, or they can park in a parking spot and push on the app that they're here, and then the kids will run out their drinks or snacks to them. Um, Another thing that I did that I think made the biggest difference was I added having kids go outside and take orders with the iPad. This seems to make the line go so much faster, and customers can see somebody's out there. So even if the line is long, they realize that somebody's out there and it'll go faster. So with those little changes that I made, the sales for my one store almost doubled in about 3 to 4 months. So I don't know if it was a coincidence or um, I definitely think that doing those things that corporate had available for us made a really, really big difference. After about 2 years, I heard a rumor that a quenchit might be coming in to my town. I kind of live in a smaller town. It's probably about 20,000 people in the town. So I kind of did a counter move and opened up another FiiZ store in our little town across town. Um, and was hoping it wouldn't take too much away from my original store. And it actually really didn't. So it actually increased my sales. So far, the quenchit, they haven't put the other quenchit in. Um, I don't know what you guys want to know. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Um, I would love to see everybody's faces because this is really weird talking to like a black screen.
Hey, Melody, one more quick question too. So you're kind of going into a new market where there weren't Fizz before. Well, I guess you kind of bought it from another owner, but what do you think has been helpful in going into a market that doesn't have 60 other FiiZ locations nearby, like in Utah?
So I think just I try to be really a part of the community. So like at the football games, we hand out coupons, we hand out like swag, promo stuff. I created a little card that's like you can get like a free drink or free snack at my stores. And we've handed those out for different things. I started handing them out like at the high school for some of the promotion type of things. And the principal actually came to me and said, can we start buying gift cards to hand out to the kids when they turn their phones in a classroom? So I think just kind of being involved in the community. It's interesting because people always ask me if they're interested out of Utah. A couple questions. They ask if I think it's like a Mormon type of thing, and I wouldn't say that especially. I think that most of my customers are probably like a middle age. They come and get like a drink during their lunch break after work. Um, 95% of my business at both of my stores is the drive-through. One of my stores is located a couple blocks away from a high school. So I get several hundred kids every day walk to my one store and do their eat lunch, whatever snack stuff and drinks at my store. My other store is located in a big shopping center. And so on the weekends, I get a lot of, people that are out shopping and stuff, and they stop in my store. So both of them have a lot of traffic in the store, but like I said, like 95% of my customers is the drive-through. So a lot of people think it's like a kids store or kids type of thing, and definitely we play off of that. We sponsor sports teams like Little League Soccer, stuff like that all the time. And we definitely have that clientele. However, for my stores, it's the people that are just working and want to break in the day and have like a highlight to say hi to the kids and get a drink to take back to their office. Um, I have a lot of customers that come 2 to 3 times every day. So I don't, I think going into an area where people aren't sure what a soda shop is, like my oldest son lives in Georgia and they don't really drink soda. Like I couldn't even find soda at a gas station, like a soda fountain at a gas station. And so um I think that people just need to be educated in the area of what it is. Kind of just like a highlight of the day, like a treat, um, type of thing. Did you have a question? Somebody have a question?
Hi, this is Nathan. I do have a question since you opened it up, if you don't mind. Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Okay, terrific. So it looks like you have some experience in purchasing one and launching a new one. Um, what is kind of the main workload that you see as the owner? How many hours a week do you spend managing just like one store?
So that's going to vary on what you do. Me, myself, I don't work in my stores. I do all of the accounting. I do all the payroll. I do all the quarterlies for my stores. I don't do any of the like equipment maintenance. Um, I have a general manager that runs both of my stores. She does all of the scheduling. She does all of the ordering. She manages the people. I mean, we work hand in hand. I probably like 8 to 10 hours a week, but I have set it up purposefully that way. So my general manager is someone that I know very well, I've known since she was very young. I pay her an hourly wage as well as I pay her a percentage. I pay her 1% of my um, gross sales every month. But I set it up that way because this isn't my full-time job. It's just kind of a side thing. So
Oh,
there are,
thank you. I'm glad that you brought that up because I'm looking to purchase one from someone who's selling one really close to where I live. And the idea has crossed my mind of, just keeping my full-time job and doing this part-time, which seems very realistic, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Cool.
don't,
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's not, I mean, I guess it depends on how much money you want, but for me, it's not something that would be my sole income, especially one store. I think you'd need to increase more stores. So the thing that was surprising to me is the overhead, like the product is expensive. You know, your Coke bibs, your stuff is kind of more expensive. I was coming from a background of managing a medical office where it was more of a service industry rather than a product industry. So that was a little bit surprising to me. Um, I know that there's a lot of owners that don't do any of their accounting. They hire their bookkeeping out, but then some of them work in their stores. Some of them maintain like their ice machines or their equipment, which I don't do. So I think it kind of just depends on what you are willing to do. I try to do, if it's minimal repairs, then me or my husband try to do them. But if it's anything bigger, then we just hire someone to take care of it.
That's some good insight. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Mhm.
Good morning, Melody. This is Austin out of Denver. How are you?
Great.
What made you decide on these specific locations? And what is your average ticket running?
Well, the first store I bought was already an existing store. So that one I didn't choose. The other one, the things that I would look at, the reason I chose the other one is because it was across town. And like I said, it's a smaller town and it had a drive-through. So I was kind of trying to block a competitor coming in. But the most important things that I would look for are you want to be in a busy part of town. So whether it's near schools, where it's stores, like strip malls, apartments, anything like that, easy access and a good drive-through are the main things that I would look for. Like I said, a lot of people think, oh, if I'm by a school, I'll get all those school kids. Um, that is not, at least for my experience, that is not the case. Sure, I get a plenty of high school kids coming through the drive-through, or like I said, coming at lunch. But I would say that more of my customers are adult.
Would you mind sharing how much you're paying for your lease per property, or do you own the property?
Yeah, not at all. And you asked me about a ticket. So FiiZ uses, right now they're using a system called Crisp. It's a point of sale system. It has an app and I can follow like really easily to the second everything that's going on in both of my stores, like how much a sales ticket is, how much I'm making that day. It's really good. I know that they are upgrading in a couple months to a newer system that is even supposed to be more specific for what we're doing. But I think my normal sell is usually around $10 to $12 is one sell. Mine is a little bit higher, I think, when we've done some comparisons to some of the other stores. Um, I think that the average is around 8 to 9.
I have a question if no one else is going to go.
I'm sorry, the other guy had more questions. I'm
Oh,
sorry, I'm getting
Sorry.
The other half was, can you tell me a little bit about the leases that you have, or do you own the properties?
I do not own the properties. My one lease, it's about 1,500 square feet, and I pay 3,800. My other lease is about 1,800 square feet, and I pay about 3,400.
I assume that's triple net.
Sorry,
I assume that's triple net or gross lease.
I don't understand what you're asking. I'm sorry. That's just my monthly payment, including CAMs.
Okay, so triple net.
So can I follow up on that, on the lease question? If it's triple net, you would be responsible for everything outside of your facility, like parking lot, striping, painting, things like that. Are you only responsible on your lease for everything inside your perimeter walls?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you for sharing about the average sales amount. How many sales do you make a day? If you don't mind sharing that on average. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, let me just pull up if you don't mind giving me 1 second to pull it up. I don't,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
there's so many different things that you can look at, different things that I watch. So like how many sales tickets in a day? Is that
Yes.
what you're asking?
Yes.
So yesterday, let's see. I had, dividing it up really. I had 624 tickets yesterday. And that's at both stores. I can divide that up, like I can run it individually, each store, if that's a better idea. Let's see. One store had 345 tickets.
And you can see that through the app that corporate provides, right?
Yeah, it's actually, I take it back. It's actually not an app. It's actually just a website portal that we can log into. And yeah, I can have all this data instantly at my fingertips. So
that's incredible. That's awesome.
yeah. So I can even like look, like we had some new tumblers. They just made a deal with HydroJug. And so I knew that the tumblers would sell like crazy here in my area. So I bought like 320 tumblers, and I could watch them like sell individual products sell. So that's kind of, it gets pretty detailed. They keep saying that this new system is going to be even better, but honestly, I think this system's fantastic. Sorry, and then I think it was Austin was it Austin or Ricky? It was Ricky.
Yes. Hi. Thanks for doing this call with us.
Sure.
Do you feel comfortable sharing like what your gross margins or net profit percentages are?
I don't have any problem sharing any of that. I don't, so this is not my main income. And so I don't always, it's hard to say. So between my two stores, I think I grossed I think about 1.6 million last year. My original store is a little bit busier still than my new store. And then I have to take a paycheck. My accountant makes me take a paycheck. So I take that. I think I pay myself around like 50,000, and then I probably like I run like a vehicle through it. I would guess probably around 100,000 I take. I mean, this is like really guesstimates. It's
But that's for both stores. That's for two, right?
yeah, I could take more. I really could take more, probably, but I just haven't chosen to. Um,
So you're saying it's 100K salary between both stores? Is that what you're saying?
so I wouldn't say it's 100K salary. I don't know if you are you from have you do you have like your own business? Have you ever had your own business?
No, but I have an accounting background, so I might kind of
But
know
you
what you're
probably have
talking
more
about.
knowledge than me. So yeah, so there's ways like I run like a vehicle through it. I run I take distributions. I can, any of that. Probably, I think I've only taken like about 100, 120 each year. I probably could take more. I just haven't needed to or wanted to at this time.
Okay.
So that is also, I didn't like to do the build out and to purchase the building. When I purchased, or not purchased the building, purchased the original FiiZ, I paid, I think I paid 180 for it. And then my build out for my new store was probably around that as well. And I didn't take out any debt for it. And so I think that maybe that's made a difference too. So I didn't have that debt having to pay back. And I would say it probably would take a couple years to really get a store going and getting people familiar with what it is in an area. I've had a lot of friends with FiiZ stores who are in places who FiiZ is new to. And I have one friend, for example, that she opened 5 stores like within just a couple years. And it was too much too fast because people just didn't know what it was. And you've got to be able to sustain yourself for that time while people are building up, while people are understanding what it is and your business grows, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So with buildings that have existed, I'm looking to purchase one that's fairly new. It's like 2 years old, but then there's another one with the same owner that's 6 or 7 years old. With it having already that established time, do you think it's, depending on what the financial statement looks like, I'm sure it's, I guess, according to a particular track record, it should be pretty stable. People should know what it is by now, I guess, right?
So are you looking at existing stores? Is that what you're saying? Existing FiiZ
Correct.
stores?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that you could count on it being what those numbers are. Like, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I don't
Sounds
see
good. Thank
any
you.
reason for it to change unless it would
Mhm.
increase. Only because in the last couple months, FiiZ Corporate has had some big changes. A couple years ago, a new company bought FiiZ. There's been some adjustments, but a couple months ago, I feel like things are starting to really align with corporate, and they're really getting on the right path. And they've added some products for us to sell, such as cookies, some other snack foods. And I've seen a huge increase in the last couple months in my sales with having those products, those extra products to sell.
That's terrific. Can I ask one more question? I feel like I'm nudging people. I apologize if everybody else has other questions. But when it comes to corporate, do you feel like you have a lot of support from corporate? Do you feel like they provide the help that they need in a timely manner with whatever you need?
Well, that's a loaded question.
Okay. I know it's very general. Everybody's different, but yeah,
So
what's the
I
general experience?
so I so it was, let's see, I think it was October, about, we're coming up on 2 years ago. The Stena Group bought FiiZ. And it's obviously a new endeavor for them. And it's been, like I said, it's been definitely some adjustments. I think they've been trying to learn how to go forward. And there has been some struggles in that pursuit. However, taking a step back and looking, I think that the Stena Group has the potential to really grow FiiZ. And I think that some of the adjustments or struggles that we've had over the last couple of years are adjusting to that. Before we had a little bit more, it was just kind of a mom and pop that owned it. And everyone kind of had their own say in what they did in their stores to a certain degree, where this new corporation is having more guidelines, and nobody likes that at first, especially who we've been out on our own type of thing. And it has been kind of frustrating, but I can see like it seems to be coming full circle where they're actually building a base to really launch FiiZ to really grow. That's just my opinion. I don't know. That's just, and I've only felt that way since about February. I have to say, and before February, since Stena bought over, I have been a little discouraged and thought, what are we doing? But the last couple months, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing. I get it now.
Terrific. Thank you. Thanks for the insight.
And this is all just my personal, this is just all my personal opinion.
And Melody, you're not going to get in trouble.
Well, I just thought I was talking with you. I didn't realize we were.
No, I'm sorry. I should have explained that a little better.
You probably did. I've been in and out of town lately, so I probably just didn't catch it. So if I seem a little scattered, that's why.
Well, and another thing, just to let all of you know, we're not paying Melody to do this. This is just her helping out. No incentivizing, so that hopefully she feels like she can answer all of these questions as honest and candid as she wants to be. Hopefully very honest. No lying, but
Melody, I've got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
We live in a cold weather market. We have great summers, but we live in a very cold winter market. How have your shells been impacted by the colder months?
So where I live in Nevada, but I live in northern Nevada. It's a high desert, and so we have a lot of snow. We have really cold as well. Our climate is compared to Park City, probably. So my cells do go down somewhat in the winter. However, I've been really surprised. I thought it would just kind of be a warm weather summer kind of thing, but my cells have stayed really well in the winter. FiiZ has actually also added hot chocolate and coffee, and some of the snacks that they've added. I've noticed that a lot of my really morning cold people have been ordering with their hot chocolate and their coffee. It hasn't decreased like I thought it would. It does go down some in the cooler months. And it does sometimes, if the day is really hot, it's a hot day in the summer, then it'll be really busy. If it's a cooler day, then it does go down, but it doesn't dip below your consistent. I hate to say it, but I feel like you kind of have your regulars, your addicts, I joke that I'm the addict that became the dealer. So it's kind of, you have your base of people that are consistent.
What about during the summer months with the students who are not in school, the high school students? Does that impact things very much?
You mean with making it busier?
No, since you have a lot of high school students who come there, do they still come during the summer months when they're out of school?
So the high school, because they come at lunch, that's what you're talking about. So I've got the high school kids come at lunch. They don't come at lunch during the summertime. but it is more consistent throughout the day where you have like high school kids would come through the drive-through more through the summertime than they would come in. In the summer, we have a lot of families that come inside the stores. You know, after a soccer game, they'll bring in a couple of the soccer kids and hang out with their kids. But like I said before, literally 95% of it is the drive-through. So even if I don't have my lunch rush kids to come through, it doesn't affect my overall like you think it would. It's kind of weird that way. But I would say the kids that probably come for lunch every day during the school year probably come throughout the day during the summer.
Thank you.
And we ought to wrap this up. We've only got 2 more minutes on this unpaid Zoom account. So thank you everyone for hopping on. Hopefully you got a lot of your questions answered. And Melody, is there anything else that you wanted to say, or should we wrap this up?
So I'm happy to talk to anybody about it. It's been a good, fun thing for me and my husband. Yeah, I'm happy if you're welcome to give out my phone number to anybody. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Melody.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.